Say it ain't so, say it ain't so, say it ain't so. Janet Jackson is out here spreading disinformation about Kamala Harris, saying that she is not only not black, but saying that she is part white. Where in the world is Janet Jackson getting this information? And why is she spreading this information? And why, even after being corrected, she continues to stand by what is obviously false and erroneous information? Stay with me as I talk about this. Hello, everybody. I am attorney Augustus Corbett, one half of the Defiant Lawyers. Each and every week, we bring you at least one legal analysis of some trending story regarding politics, policies, personalities, or pop culture to empower you with the information you need to defy this unjust legal system and to nullify systemic racism. If that interests you, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and click the bell so you'll get notified every time we upload one of our powerful and informative videos. As always, please go to Amazon.com, grab a copy of my book, Education and Justice, if you have an African-American male child in public school. Trust me, you need this book in your book library so that you will know all the different ways that public schools tend to mistreat African-American male students and what you can do about it. I address all of those things in this book. All right? So, Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson. I don't know what to say. Here she is, one of my celebrated singers over the years, all-time singers. Of course, she is from a very successful musical family, the Jackson family, the Jackson Five. Michael Jackson, arguably, in my opinion, the greatest entertainer ever in human history. And Janet just said some things recently about Kamala Harris's race that are bewildering, quite frankly. You know, the Jackson family tends to stay out of politics, and perhaps for the best, because here we go again, an entertainer saying some things about a political matter, about this election, and not knowing what she's talking about. And it's the reason why I made the video a couple of months ago where I said, don't get your political advice from rappers and comedians and, athletes and so forth. No. You need to go to the experts. You need to go to the people who are doing the research, who are reading, who are studying, and so forth. But knowing Kamala Harris's ethnicity, that just requires just a simple Google search, quite frankly. I mean, you don't have to be an expert or a scholar to know that the woman is a biracial woman. She is of East Indian and Afro-Jamaican descent. That is widely known. And she identifies as an African-American woman. She attended an HBCU. She is a member of the AKA sorority. If you read her book, you'll see all of this. Her mother raised her and her sister to be strong black women, she said in her book. And she said of herself that she is a black woman. She said it recently, actually, at the NABJ, the National Association of Black Journalists. So while anyone keep getting confused about this, I don't know. I don't know why that's happening. In fact, I'm going to read a few things that Janet Jackson said here in an interview with The Guardian. Now, and by the way, I'm on vacation, so I'm not in my regular studio. I know you're looking at this thinking this is a little different. Don't have on my customary suit coat or sport coat or blazer. I'm just chilling out because I'm on the beach, actually. I'm actually on the beach. But I wanted to opine about this topic. It's such an important topic because Janet Jackson has a huge microphone. And when this kind of disinformation comes from someone of her status, it confirms what a lot of other people are already thinking erroneously. So I certainly wanted to use my platform to say, no, she got it wrong. Kamala Harris is an African-American woman. Her family on her father's side were brought to Jamaica on slave ships, just like African-American people were brought to America on slave ships. I don't know why that is so difficult for some people to understand. Some folks are just simply repeating what they heard Trump say. And why anyone would repeat anything that Donald Trump says is inexplicable, because the man is a huge liar. He's a habitual liar. He's a serial liar. And hopefully Janet Jackson was not quoting Trump and got that kind of mixed up, because Trump didn't say that she was part white. He just said that she just sort of began to identify with her black side, her black self, if you will. So where Janet Jackson got the white part, I really don't know, because her father is a black man. And a couple of months ago, I put up a lot of pictures. I found a bunch of pictures of her family back in Jamaica, and those are black people. Those are people of African descent. They are not white people. They are not European people. So why Janet Jackson, as sophisticated as she is, as accomplished as she is, would say that? I don't know, but it's just a part of this disinformation campaign that black folks are the target of. So let me just read so that you know exactly what Janet Jackson said. This is an interview that she did with The Guardian magazine with a journalist by the name of Nasheen Iqbal. So it's a far-reaching interview. They discuss many topics, and they got down to the election. Miss Iqbal said, quote, "I wonder where she stands on the forthcoming election. After all, I say, America could be on the verge of voting in its first black female president, Kamala Harris." And here's what Janet said. "Well, you know what they supposedly said?" she asked me. "She's not black. That's what I heard, that she is Indian." She looks at me. This is Miss Iqbal talking. Speaking of Janet, she looks at me expectantly, perhaps assuming that I have Indian heritage. And I say, quote, "Well, she's both," close quote, I offer. And then Janet responded by saying her father's white. That's what I was told. I mean, I haven't watched the news in a few days. She coughs. I was told that they discovered her father was white, close quote. And Miss Iqbal said, "I'm floored at this point. It's well known that Harris's father is a Jamaican economist, a Stanford professor who split from her Indian mother when she was 5. Quote, and now Miss Iqbal is quoting Kamala Harris's book when she says, quote, "My mother understood very well that she was raising 2 black daughters," close quote. Harris wrote in her book, The Truths We Hold. The people who are most vocal in questioning the facts of Harris's identity tend to be hardcore QAnon adjacent, Trump-loving conspiracy theorists. I don't think Jackson falls into that camp, but I do wonder what the algorithms are serving her. I start again. Harris has dual heritage, I say, and given this moment, does Jackson think America is ready for her? If we agree she's black, or okay, a woman of color. And Janet said, "I don't know." Jackson stage whispers, "Honestly, I don't want to answer that because I really truthfully don't know. I think either way it goes, it's going to be mayhem." So I wonder the same thing that this journalist wonder, and that is, where did she get that from? Who is she listening to? Who is she associated with? Is she a Trump supporter? Is she a supporter of QAnon? I mean, those are legitimate questions. They're really not that important, quite frankly, because, I mean, who cares who Janet Jackson supports and who she's aligned with and who she's affiliated with? I'm doing this story because, again, she has a huge, huge microphone. She is well beloved in the African American community. And when she says things like that, her followers, her fans, many of them are going to accept it as truth just because she said it. That's why we got to, on every, and this is really important that you understand this, on every hand, we have to fight disinformation. Everyone needs to use their platform, their voice, their energy to fight this type of disinformation, because they have unleashed, I would think, an unprecedented amount of disinformation on the Black community, because our votes are really, really important, oftentimes making the difference whether we vote or not vote. Oftentimes that makes the difference in a lot of these elections. So we have to be very diligent. As they are diligent putting out disinformation, we have to be diligent fighting it. So even on my vacation, I said I got to speak a word about this, because it's a tired, lame old, as Kamala says, same old show, right? To question her blackness, which, will turn some Black folks off from voting for her. She's already catching a whole lot of flack from a lot of Black men, many of them the victims, targets of disinformation. So Janet Jackson layering on top of that this disinformation, and again takes it a step further and says that her father is white. I mean, did she misspeak? Is she intentionally trying to mislead people? We don't know. And it was reported that someone associated with her issued an apology on her behalf, but she came back reportedly and said, no, this guy was not authorized to speak for me. This guy or girl, I think it was a guy. So basically, she was standing by what she said. And she is totally wrong. She basically spoke a falsehood. She lied on Kamala Harris. And we all love Janet Jackson. I don't get any pleasure out of saying that she lied, maybe intentionally. I get no pleasure in saying that, because, again, we love their family. We love her family. We love her brothers. We love, the mother, Catherine. We loved Joe, Rebe, LaToya, all of them. So it's bizarre. It's bewildering that Janet would say this and then stand by it the way she is. So basically what I wanted to say to you is, this is wrong. I recently did a video. When I say wrong, this is incorrect. This is false. I did a video recently where I quoted her, I think about 4 times from her book, The Truths We Hold, where she said that she's Black. And again, she recently said it in an interview with the National Association of Black Journalists. So let's put this to rest. Let's put this to rest. The woman is Black. Now, if you want to vote for. If you don't, you don't. But don't base it on the lie, the disinformation, that she is part white and or that she's not Black. A simple Google search would show you that that's false information. Don't repeat it until and unless you do your research and have some reason for rejecting, what's all over the internet. All right. So again, it is important that we fight disinformation every time it rears its ugly head. We have to be diligent. As diligent as they are, we have to be even more so. All right, so I am Attorney Augustus Corbett, one half of the Defiant Lawyers. Thank you for watching this video, and until the next time, Peace.